We're live. Hey, dream catchers. I'm so excited because tonight you are going to learn what it takes to get the perfect match when it comes to getting a financial advisor. So, this came about because so many of you guys have reached out to me just as most recently as yesterday when somebody was asking me a very specific financial question that had many parts, and I thought to myself, here's a part I can kind of answer, but you really need to sit with a financial advisor because this is very specific. And for some months, I have been thinking about what does it look like if I could match you with the right advisor. And so I came up with this concept called money match. Come on into the room. Let me know where you're from. Just you have a seat in the front, Violet. We love that. So I came up with this concept called money match. And I thought, you know how you can match to the perfect partner, we hope, to the perfect. Maybe you're looking to get married, maybe you're looking to date. But here's the thing about those things. You might not have that relationship with that person forever, but you will have a relationship with your money forever. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to create this offering via the Budgetnista called Money Match. And then I found this amazing company to partner with called Wealthramp, who actually helps to match you to the right financial advisor for FREE. What you know about me? Yes. Right. So some of you might want to jump ahead, and that's okay because you might have to feed the baby, put food on the table, whatever. If you do have to jump ahead, if you only take away one little piece of homework, write this down. If you don't have your notebook, where's my notebook? Y'all know I'm a good notebook. Meanwhile, I have so many notebooks right now. I should be ashamed of myself. I'm looking at which is my favorite currently. I keep a good notebook. If you don't have your notebook out, are you really a dream catcher? Get your notebook out because you're going to take some notes. So if you don't do anything else and you have to jump off because you got to feed the baby, you got to put food on the table, your mama is calling, write this site down. I'm actually going to put it below me. This is where you can get your free match because I don't want you to miss out just in case you have to run out. And, tell your mama, cousins, friends, right? You see it on the screen, yourmoneymatch.com. So if you don't do anything else and you do have to jump off, I want you to make sure you head over onto yourmoneymatch.com and get matched for free to up to, I think, 3 personal free financial advisors, 3 for free. Now, it's not free to work with a financial advisor, but to get matched to one, you're going to take a survey and it's going to say, based upon the results of your survey, here are the 3 advisors that we think are going to be a great fit for you. Does that make sense? All right. So I just want to make sure I got that out there because we have some guests on today because it's one thing to get matched to a financial advisor, but what is a financial advisor? How do they get paid? What can you expect? How do you interview them? Yeah. There's a lot of questions I'm sure that you have. So I have 2 guests with me on today that are going to help us. Okay. All right, so guest number 1, she is a amazing CEO like myself. Um, Her name is Pam Krueger. Pam is a recognized investor, advocate, and award-winning personal financial journalist and author, and she is the founder and CEO of Wealthramp. This is who y'all know I don't partner easily. I hardly partner at all, quite honestly, because most financial brands, if I'm being honest, they don't match my Lisa rule. My Lisa rule is, I'm one of 5 girls and Lisa is the baby. Well, she's grown, but she's the youngest out of 5 of us. And I used to have a Tiffany rule where if I wouldn't use it, I wouldn't share it with you. And then one day Lisa signed up for something that I shared with everyone. And I got nervous and I thought, well, why are you nervous? If you would use it, why wouldn't you want Lisa to use it? And then that's when I realized I'm actually more protective over Lisa than my own financial journey because she's a baby, even though she's 33. So I realized y'all not Tiffany, y'all are my Lisas. So everything I do when I share, it has to pass the Lisa rule. Would I have Lisa sign up for yourmoneymatch.com? Absolutely. Would I have Lisa connect with Wealthramp to find a financial advisor? Absolutely. So Pam has created this amazing, it's literally what she's created is if what I would have created if I would have had the time, the energy, the money, and the know-how, right? So Wealthramp helps consumers find vetted fiduciary. Fiduciary means by law, they have to put your needs first, financial advisors. Pam is also the creator and co-host of Money Track on PBS and Friends Talk Money and the Friends Talk Money podcast. Pam is awesome. Welcome her to the stage. Can everybody say, hey, Pam? Where's Pam? There she goes. Let me add you to the stage. Hey, Pam.
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you. Thank you. It's great
Pam
to
is
be
she's like one of my new BFFs. Sidebar, if you're watching this and you have not shared it with your bestie, you must not like her. like send them on over to budgetnistalive.com so they can watch. Like send the link, share wherever you're watching. This is not secret information. Tag someone because wealth truly sharing is caring. And so make sure you do that. Okay. So next up to the stage, I'm super excited about is Michelle Robinson. She has a strong legal background and experience as a successful entrepreneur. Michelle helps clients plan for realistic challenges to their financial. Ooh, are you kidding me? No, I'm sorry. The spam is real. Did I jump off? You guys can still hear me? Somebody tried to call me. Let me put my phone on do not disturb.
You're here.
So sorry, I was explaining Michelle to you. So Michelle helps clients plan for realistic challenges to their planning goals. She has a master's of law degree in wealth management. We love and stand a smart woman, okay? And is a certified financial planner and an NAPFA registered advisor. She's going to tell us what an NAPFA registered advisor does because I don't know. But I do know certified financial planner is the gold standard of financial planners. So we welcome you to the stage. Can everybody say, hey, Michelle? Hold on, let me bring you. Michelle, you know what? This thing doesn't want to listen to me. I'm like, I said bring Michelle to the stage. Y'all know that tech is not my forte. Hold on. I don't know why my screen doesn't want to move. There she is. Come on to the stage, Michelle. Welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah. So real quick before we start, because you're gonna get a chance to ask Michelle and Pam some questions, and I'm going to ask them some questions as well. But I have a real question for you in the audience. One, put a 1 in the comments if you already have a financial advisor, and put a 2 if you don't have one but do want one. 1, I have a financial advisor. 2, I don't, but I want one. Okay. And remember what I said before, your homework, if you don't do anything else, your homework is going to be to go to yourmoneymatch.com so you can get matched for free. Oh, we have a lot of 2s. Okay. A lot of 2s. Oh, you're in the perfect place. Oh, literally, it's almost all 2s. Great. You're in the perfect place. All right. Now let's get this party started. Okay. So I want to learn more about, like, everybody who's watching, you know, my financial journey, so you don't need to hear it, right? But I want to learn more about what your financial journey looked like. How did you kind of get to this place? So we'll start with Pam. Like, how did you start Wealthramp? How did you get to this place? Like, yes, what brought you here?
Okay. It all started like when I was really young and really started working in a brokerage firm environment, which is really a sales environment. Like, you're selling investments. You want people to make an investment. But just because you want them to make an investment and you're selling them something, does that mean it's really advice? And does it go beyond investments into taxes, etc.? Well, I really found that wasn't satisfying. It wasn't what I wanted to do. So I got involved with the fee only, which we'll talk about, fiduciary advisor channel, which is a totally different type of advisor. They're not paid on commission. But then from there, maybe some of you might remember, you're probably like little kids. I had a TV series on every week called Money Track. And Money Track ran every week, and it was all about helping people learn, just like Tiffany. This is why you and I have so much in common. Teaching people how to save, manage, and invest money better. And doing the show was a blast. I loved it. And our viewers kept asking me, hey, Pam, why don't you give me the name of one of these fantastic financial advisors you're always telling us exist, but we can't find? And I couldn't really solve that problem right then. But the more people asked me, Tiffany, the more I said, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to solve this problem. And I wanted to do it in a way that wouldn't be salesy, and it would be completely in people's best interest and make people comfortable, wrapped in education. So that is when Wealthramp was born. So we have 230-ish advisors in our network. Michelle is one of them.
Okay. So Michelle, how about you, Michelle? First of all, y'all gonna hear a little accent on Michelle. She's gonna tell us where she's from, because I know y'all go up when we have our West Indian sisters here. So hey, Michelle, can you tell us how you got here? Well, first of all, yes, let the girlies know where you're from so they can go crazy in the comments.
All right, so I know they're about to go crazy, and so if you don't hear the accent, I'm from Jamaica, West Indies. So
okay,
if you're
from Jam Rock, let us know in the comments you from Jam Rock, because you already heard Michelle's accent. So what part of Jamaica are you from, Michelle?
I am from St. Andrew, Jamaica, West Indies. I know everybody always said they're from Kingston. We're not all from Kingston.
So what was your
There's no
look,
way.
look, they already started Jamaica, bloop, bloop, bloop. So what was your, how did you get into the financial space? What was that trajectory like for you?
So that's a great question, Tiffany, and thank you for that question. So my journey started in 2008. And in 2008, my husband and I had a real estate investment business. And of course, I don't know, everybody can remember 2008. Can we remember that far back? If you can, you remember it was the bubble, the housing bubble, and of course, the recession. And so our business went under. And so we decided to reinvent ourselves. My husband went back to being in the law profession, law enforcement profession, and I went to work in the legal field. And so while I was in the legal field, just, a little secret if you guys don't know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be an attorney. And so I decided I was going to be an attorney. And when I look at that, I was just like, no, not going to work out. Too expensive. And so I decided that I was going to go get my master's. And I started getting my master's in criminal justice. And then I looked around and realized that what I was being taught in school, I was actually doing that on my job. And so I had a trusted confidant, which is my best friend. She and I had a conversation and she said, Michelle, you know what? You've always liked working with numbers. So why not do the wealth management? This was a new program at Regent. And so I decided to go that route. Didn't know where it was going to take me, what it was about. And while I was in the program, I quickly recognized that this was my purpose and my calling, because I realized how many people from different cultures and women as well who did not have a clue about money. And so I recognized that this was the way that I needed to go to share with other people my knowledge and expertise about money so that they could have a secure financial future for themselves. And so I go around teaching webinars and seminars on financial literacy.
I love that. And so I hope you see the theme here. You have three amazing, beautiful, talented, all of that, women who there was a space for wanting to serve a community that they saw was underserved. That there's a space saying like there's a financial education or access gap. And the three of us saw it and then decided to find solutions in our own way. And now we are all together for you today. So today we're specifically talking about what it is to get a financial advisor. So let's talk more about that. So first things first, you guys are going to be able to ask questions at the end. So Michelle, I'll ask you first, like, how do you know that you're ready to work with a financial advisor? Because, what if I'm 15? Do I need one? And what if I'm 85? Do I need one? What does it look like to know you're ready to work? And sidebar, we're about to get into the nitty gritty. If you have not shared this video, if you have not tagged a friend, if you're part of the replay crew, type replay because we love y'all too. Okay. But if you have not shared, if you have not tagged, you get to finally hear from a financial advisor what it looks like to work with one, what it looks like to pay one. We're going to be totally honest about fees and what all that looks like. So yes, Michelle, sorry to interrupt, but so yes, how do I know if I'm ready to work with a financial advisor?
So I'll start by saying, Tiffany, not everyone needs a financial advisor. Okay. A financial advisor is not for everyone. So you have to first assess your situation and see if a financial advisor is a professional that you want to engage with and partner with to work with. And so one thing that I'll say that also is a determination. There are several, but I'll just share the most common ones. So if you have a major decision happening in your life, say you're trying to expand your family, a major home purchase, and you want to know how much to pay for that home, or you're about to start a medical practice of so forth, those major decisions that you cannot navigate by yourself, then you want to seek a professional. Complex situation, estate and tax planning. I don't know about many people who love estate planning. And so you want to partner with professional people to help you with navigating that. And also, if you are looking to reduce your debt and you recognize that you don't have the expertise and the knowledge of financial literacy, reach out to the professional. You don't want to make mistakes with your money. This is when you want to partner with someone so that you avoid mistakes. And if you're getting ready to retire, want to retire, these are burning questions that you have. this is when you want to reach out to the professionals.
I love that. So Pam, what about you? When you started this whole wealth ramp to connect people to financial advisors that were a true match? When do you think that people should know that they're ready?
I'm going to echo so much of what Michelle just said because we so agree. I created a service that helps people find and connect with fee-only fiduciary advisors. And I'm the first one to tell you that not everybody needs an advisor. Not everybody wants one. There's plenty of people who can manage their own money, invest their way through their entire life, and never have an advisor. However, saving, managing, and investing money is a life skill that most of us did not get in school. We did not learn this in grade school, middle school, high school. So the answer really for me is you will know when you're ready to reach out for help, simply because you'll be at a point, you might be married, you might be single, you might be, just like Michelle said, you might be in a position where you're thinking, well, I don't want to talk to some guy about investing because I am trying to pay off my student loans. I am trying to figure out how am I going to save for my kids' college education at the same time we own a house, at the same time our aging parents might need a little help from us. All of these things come together in life. So a real financial advisor, unlike just someone who focuses on investments, like Michelle, who is holistic, is going to be able to listen to where you are, what you want to accomplish. And the biggest fallacy is that people think they have to be rich to have an advisor because they're so expensive. It's not true. There's an affordable option to help you at every stage, but you'll know when the time is right because you're the one who will feel like, I can't do this alone anymore. I really want to, I want to learn more. I want to collaborate with somebody. And I really want somebody there that I could call, if I have to at 9:00 at night and say something has happened in my life. I've got a big decision. I need to talk it through with someone. That's a real financial advisor relationship. And they're available at every stage. And for everyone, there is someone to help.
So this is good. So yes, Treasure Queen, I see you. We are going to talk about the fee because that part is important.
Oh yeah.
There's different. So don't worry, we're gonna get there. Like I said, well, one, in the comments, if you, based upon what Michelle and Pam has said, if you think I'm at least ready to explore what it might look like to work with a financial advisor, please put me in the comments. Me, just I like to get a little gauge, And like I said, here's a little bit of homework. I'm going to put it back up here. What I love is, so like I said, I created Money Match to help match you and your money to the right tools and resources. In a minute, I'll show you what this will look like behind the scenes. But I partnered, Money Match through the Budgetnista has partnered with Pam's company, Wealthramp, to provide you with this quiz. I took the quiz myself. It's about 2 minutes, not really, child, because I was like, boom, boom, boom. It took me about 1 minute, but maybe you 2 for you. And then you will then get matched at the end to up to 3, right, Pam? Up to 3?
Yeah, I don't usually recommend more than 3 at a time. You don't really need to compare more than 3. If I've done my job and I've done a good match that matches your points, where you are in life and what you can afford to pay and so forth, everything, 3.
Yes. So usually, because 3 came up for me, and then we'll talk later about the right questions to ask. But I just want, for those of you who might have to jump off or whatever, before we get to this part, that's all available for free. So it's not free to work with an advisor. We're going to talk about fees in a moment, but it's free to get matched to start the conversation. So yourmoneymatch.com. All right. So this question really is, I think, really specifically for Michelle. So I know you're a certified financial planner. So we want to get clear about what does that mean? And then also, because I know there's like specific credentials. There's something that I read in your bio, NAPFA, a registered financial advisor. I'm like, so what is a certified financial planner? And what does that NAPFA mean behind your name?
A great question, Tiffany. The NAPFA means the National Association Personal Financial Advisor. So it's called NAPFA for short. It's a fee-only organization, and I am a registered advisor through that fee only. So if someone is looking for a fee only advisor, they could always go there and they could see that I am a registered fee only advisor there, and I'm fiduciary. And that's also a board that I volunteer on with the NAPFA Association as well. So I'm volunteer board leader over there as well. Mhm.
Okay, so the fact that you're a certified financial planner, how's that different from just if I say I'm a financial advisor, but why is there a difference? Like, so is a certified financial planner also a financial advisor?
Not necessarily. And so
Okay.
we have sometimes you'll meet advisors who have the alphabet soup behind their name. And this is nothing bad against it because everybody works hard for their credential. And so I'll just share with you the most common credentials out there so that people have an understanding of what each credential means. That way, when they're looking for an advisor, they understand what is the best credential that will work for their needs. And so I'll start with a CPA. It's a certified public accountant. We know that they do tax planning for personal and business and accounting, right? They have what is called the EA as well. They're the enrolled agent. They're similar to the CFP, just one of them went to school a little bit longer and had more extensive exam. Then we have the RICP, the registered income certified professional. Their focus is retirement planning. We have the chartered financial analysis. Their focus on portfolio investments. And then, of course, by no means least, we have the CFP, which is a certified financial planner professional, which I hold that designation. We go through extensive training, and we have to we go through testing as well to demonstrate our competency in financial planning, investment management, estate planning, tax planning, insurance, and now psychology of behavior. And so we have to go through all of these vigorous testing to show our competency in over 6 or 7 topic areas. And so when you're looking for comprehensive financial planning, then you want to seek out someone who holds that designation.
Let me just say they're the best. I mean, she can't say it, but I can.
I can say it, yes, we are the gold standard.
Okay, there you go. Because Michelle, I said talk your talk, right? So just so I want you, dream catchers, to understand. My financial advisor is a CFP. She is a certified financial planner as well. Because when I was doing my own research, I said, oh, I realized that was the top of the top. And it was comprehensive, holistic. Y'all know I talk about financial wholeness. And so I look for someone with that designation because of all they have to go through to earn it. And so that's why we have Michelle here tonight, because she's a CFP. So next question I have, this is really for you, Pam. So you started Wealthramp to connect people to financial advisors that are going to be the right fit. But I think, like me, I remember I was so nervous. Like, it's one thing to be connected with, here are your matches. Like, how would you suggest and coach people to interview a prospective advisor? Like, what should they listen for? Like what does that look like, when someone is looking for an advisor?
Okay, so first off, I saw a question fly by that's such a good question to get into this, which is, what does fee only mean? What fee only means and why it's important is that that it means that Michelle, the advisor, no matter what the credentials, if she's been vetted and you're ready to talk, that advisor is paid only by their clients. So in other words, they work only indirectly for you. They don't work for a brokerage firm. They don't work for an insurance company where they get paid by a third party to sell you something. It's very important.
I just want to drive that home, because I think that still gets, because what's the opposite? So if I see fee only, okay, but then what's the other wording, Pam? If someone does get paid from somebody extra, what would that be called?
It's so complicated. It's like there's fee based, and then there's it's almost like it's intended to confuse you. And then there's commission. You just want to remember the fee only, and you remember the fee only by saying, I want your fee that you get paid to come from me only, because I want you to work for me.
Yes.
I want you only for me, not somebody else. But the 2 questions to kind of get right to it, to ask that I think are the best 2 questions. And by the way, every advisor in my network has been personally vetted by me, not someone else in Wealthramp, absolutely by me, because my name is on every single match and it matters. So the 2 questions that I really like, number 1, when you're talking to Michelle for the very first time, I would ask Michelle, tell me about your typical clients and the kinds of problems they have, and tell me the kinds of problems that you're solving for those clients so that you get a sense that there's actually a good fit here, that what you need to accomplish, let's say that you have stock options at work and it's complicated, or you're an entrepreneur and you want to kind of see that Michelle has clients that look like you and that you can easily feel that you can understand what problems she's solving for them. And then the second question, we're going to get right to fees, is how are you charging your fees? Because I know I'm going to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how much because I know it's going to be based on time and complexity, but how are your clients paying you? In what way are they paying you fee only? Are they paying you on a retainer? Are they subscribing? Are they paying a one-time fee? Are they paying by the year? Are they paying because you're managing all of their money in their portfolio? That's an answer you want to get right away. Those two questions together go a long way to answering the most important thing, which is, what the heck am I going to get for the money I'm paying you? And Michelle, close your ears. It's like, I am paying you guys a fee. I need to make sure I am getting my problem solved and I'm getting my money's worth. And I have to like you. I actually want to talk to you.
That's important. So I'm going to ask you, Michelle, because I see already, I knew the girlies was going to be like, girl, I hear you talking about getting matched. I want to match with Michelle. They already, but the thing is, well, one, Michelle's going to talk about I would love for you to share kind of like what the process is when someone is interviewing you. What are some good questions they should be asking and what it looks like for the right match? Someone said something perfect. Tarsha said, like, she was looking for someone that works with widows. Y'all know I lost my husband suddenly 2 years ago. And so there are financial advisors that, like my particular financial advisor, she really works with people who have businesses because I really needed that. And so you might say, I want to work with Michelle, but you'll take the survey at yourmoneymatch.com and you might not get Michelle because actually that might not actually be the perfect fit for where you actually are. And so I say all that to say, so Michelle, can you share with us, like, what does it look like when the interview process on your side, and have you ever decided not to work with a client because it wasn't a fit?
Yeah. So let me start here. So I'll start here by saying, while you're interviewing the advisor, please be aware that I'm also interviewing you because I want to know that I can work with you and I want to work with you for a long period of time. I want to ensure our personalities match. Number one. Number two, I want to know that you could collaborate with me. You could partner with me, right? And I could keep you accountable on whatever recommendations that I am going to set forth. You're going to implement them and you're going to do them. And so when someone is interviewing me, I would say be open to speak more. In my meetings, I want the prospect or client to speak 80% of the time. I'm only speaking 20% of the time. You're paying me to listen to you, to hear your story, so I could design a comprehensive financial plan around your goals by using money as a tool to help you get there. So I'm not here to talk a lot. I'm here to listen. And that's why we need you to be honest, transparent, and share that information with us. So in my first prospect call, what it looks like is I'm asking you questions such as, tell me, for instance, what was your first encounter with money? How did that make you feel? Right? And then after you share that, I would say, just close your eyes for a second. And if money was no object, tell me, what would you dream of doing? How would you live? And so those are some of the questions that I start with. Then, of course, I'm going to get into other questions with you by asking you more about, do you have your estate plan in place? And there are several other conversations that we're going to have because we're going to ask these questions so we could really get to the root of why you're looking for an advisor. And can I help you? That way, if I cannot help you, I can point you in the direction of someone who can assist you.
I love that. I want to show you really quickly, guys, something, because I want, like I said before, and then we're going to talk about the money. okay, how much does it cost? That's my next question. So get yourself together, Pam and Michelle. Because, Pam talked about it, but we're really going to dive deep into I know you guys have some, right? Some piece questions, but I wanted to show you really quickly, like when you go to yourmoneymatch.com, like I said, it's this free service. And then, like I said, you will pay for the advisor, which we'll talk about what that looks like. I want for you to see what it's going to look like. So can you guys see? Just say, yes, I can see. So when you go to yourmoneymatch.com, first, you're going to be asked to give like your name, email, and optionally phone number, because it allows us. Because matter of fact, if you came here as a result of a text message, right, type text crew, because it allows us to be like, we're about to go live. You might have missed the email because we heard y'all whining about Tiffany. I didn't see it on social. I didn't see the email. I didn't see that. So I use text messaging as a way to let you know when I'm doing something like this, And so name, email, and then text messaging is optional. And then it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Okay. You see me in the orange. I love me a side ponytail, and money match with Wealthramp. And so right away, you could take the 2-minute survey, or if you want to learn a little bit more about, if you're like me, I like to read. So personalized matches, confidentiality, certified experts. And every time you see this orange button, know that it takes you to the survey. So you can, if you're someone who wants to jump right to it, you can, like this, boom. But if you're someone like me who wants to read a little bit more, you can. And you get to learn more about what Wealthramp is. It's an established fee-only. It will connect you with and match you to established fee-only financial advisors. And at no cost to you, Wealthramp will recommend up to 3 advisors that meet your needs. And look, we look so cute here. Me and Pam had this awesome talk a few weeks ago, and we kind of just talked through all things Wealthramp, all things financial advisor. And if you're someone who, this is like almost 8 minutes. So if you're wanting to kind of listen to that conversation maybe you're a little nervous and you need to learn more, you could certainly do so here. Okay. And like I said, every time you see an orange button, it's going to take you right to the survey. It's just 3 easy steps. Step 1, take the survey. Step 2, schedule a call with 1 or more of your matches. And step 3, check your email, because Wealthramp is going to send you some additional resources. Like they're going to give you an account. The account is free, Pam? The Wealthramp account?
Yeah. The most important thing too, and someone asked a great question, is the first meeting free? Yes.
Okay.
It's not a sales thing. It's, you know what? It might be more than 1 meeting. You guys, you can talk to Michelle. Michelle does this all the time. And you get on the first call with the advisor and you're just getting to know each other and getting to figure things out. And you might really like her or him, whoever the advisor is. And you might say, can I call you back? I might have some more questions. The answer is yes. You're not going to be charged for that. You'll know when they're ready to charge you.
You'll have entered into an agreement with them.
Right.
And so it's just 3 steps. Survey, schedule your call, your free call. I should have said, we're going to update this. Schedule a free call. Carol, if you're watching, Akeisha, you're watching, let's put free right here so that way the girlies know. And then check your email. And then something that I created for y'all is that this is 10 questions to ask a financial advisor. And this is what helped me a lot when I was meeting and looking for a financial advisor. I actually created, because y'all know I'm a teacher, a financial worksheet for myself, which had all of my financial information, like not like, like my social security number or like, or my bank information, just information about me, how much I wanted to save, how much I already had saved, if I had debt, things like that. And so I created this worksheet that this is totally free. You click on it, it'll open. And this worksheet, I'm giving it to you for free, along with the 10 questions that you can fill out and share with the financial advisor before your meeting. So that way you won't forget, like, oh, I forgot to tell them that, I'm buying a house in 2 years, or I forgot to say that my son is in college. And so that financial worksheet has been a lifesaver. And then literally all roads lead to Rome, as my dad would say. So every time you click on Get Matched, it's just going to take you here. This is 3 easy steps. You're going to answer some quick questions. You're going to get to know your advisor matches, and you can start the conversation. Like I said, the survey takes between 1 to 2 minutes. It took me about 1 minute, but if you want to take it slow, and then when I say right away, you get your matches right away. You get your matches. They will pop up on the screen, and you can do something with them then, or you could just check your email and decide later. But so easy. Yourmoneymatch.com. Like I said, it'll bring you to a kind of like a pre-page, and then once you put in your name and your email, it'll bring you here. So I just want to do that before we start talking about money, just in case I don't want anyone to miss that. Y'all got it? Okay. So now we're about to ask the questions. So real quick, so let's dive into, like, I know Pam, you mentioned it, but so let's just say, let's talk about like, let me see. Let's talk about the different fee structures. Maybe Michelle, we'd like to hear from you. And also, because you're a financial advisor yourself, is the price negotiable? So like, what do the fee structures look like from your perspective, Michelle?
So from my perspective, the fee, let's start here. The fees aren't negotiable, but we have flexible service level where clients can get flexible offering. And so it's on our website where, of course, you could go and see because we're transparent. And so with that being said, we have different levels of offering that you could get for where you are in your financial journey. So we have fees for hourly service, we have for more complex cases, and we have for wealth management rate. So there are flexible rates that meets you at your financial journey. And so that's one thing that I would like to say. Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about fee only means you're only paid by me. Right. So I love that, Pam. So that's a great way to remember. And the reason why that's so important, my dad would say, he who pays the piper determines the tune. And, right? But for those of you who are young, if you pay the DJ, you get to tell the DJ what to pay. Meaning that, like, if someone is being paid by an insurance company, guess what they're going to sell you? Insurance from that insurance company. If someone is being paid by their brokerage firm, guess who they're going to look after? Well, the brokerage firm is what pays them. If someone is getting paid from you, guess who they're going to prioritize? You. That's why Wealthramp only, right, Pam? You only have fee only financial advisors, correct, Pam?
Oh, exactly. The other thing too that I always like to encourage people to do is take your time. There's no rush. No one's going to try to push you or sell you anything. So the more you just kind of work through these conversations, your first initial conversations with Michelle or whoever the advisor is, and remember, I'm not going to match you to an advisor unless they fit your circumstances. So, in all fairness, I mean, with Michelle, when I did my interview with Michelle, one of the first things I was asking about after I vetted her and background records and all of that is, Michelle, who are your clients? And so, mostly I think that's really important because it's just not a fit for everybody. I think that's really important. So once you get that match and you have that first conversation, you can just kind of go, I can take my time. And guess what? No one's going to judge you. Michelle's not here to judge you. None of the advisors in this Wealthramp network are going to be looking at you and making any kind of judgment. But I mean, it's really important to just understand, Michelle does have certain types of clients, and therefore her fee structures are going to tend to be basically designed for those kinds of clients and their circumstances.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit, but maybe just really briefly, ladies, especially for you, this is really for you, Michelle. So fine, I get a financial advisor. I go to yourmoneymatch.com, right? I go here. I'm like, I take the quiz, because some of you are asking where yourmoneymatch.com. You click on any of these orange buttons, it takes you to the quiz. The quiz, 2 minutes later, you have your matches on screen. And then the question then becomes, okay, Michelle, so what do I do to, how do I approach? So say I decided I found someone and I'm like, I got matched with Michelle. Yes. Right. So how should I prepare for our first meeting? Because now I'm nervous. It's like a first date. Will she like me? Will she think I'm cute? Right. So what do I do to prepare so I can make the most out of our connection for our first meeting?
I'll say preparation is key. And so what I mean by that is our team at my firm, we're going to send you what is called a common checklist of documents that we'd request from you. I would say do the homework and provide us with much information as possible. And so when you present us with that information, we're going to comb through that information and we're going to learn your story. And wherever we have questions, we're going to notate it. In that first meeting, after you decide to engage the advisor, we're talking now after the complimentary introductory call or Zoom meeting or in-person meeting, because at our firm, we do Zoom, in-person, or on the phone for your first complimentary call. Once you decide to engage us, then when you do that, your first meeting, we call it that discover meeting, where we're going to learn more about you. And so in that process, while you're talking and you're laying out your dreams and your goals, we're going to go through and then we're going to say, based upon the information that you share with us, there are a few questions that we need clarification on. So we set the stage for you to be comfortable so that you could feel at ease and just share whatever information you want to share, because the more information you share is the more productive the meeting is, one. And two, the more information you share is the more tailor-made and accurate the comprehensive financial plan that we're going to design is going to be suitable for you. So if you leave out information, it's going to skew the recommendation. And that's not what you're paying money for. You're paying money to get the best information. And we are here to provide a recommendation that's in your best interest. So share as much as possible. Be transparent, guys. I know this is nervous because we've worked hard for our money and it's our story. And we know that we've done well. And there are some areas that we may need to improve. We're not here to judge you, like Pam says. We're here to listen. And from that information, use that to design a plan that's in your best interest so you can meet your goals.
So I'm going to show you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pam. No, go ahead.
I wanted to throw in one thing that Michelle does that is just natural with the advisors that are in this Wealthramp network, because I know each and every one of them. They are generous with their knowledge. I want everyone to feel like, look, I'm not just paying to get the advice, the investment, whatever, the getting out of debt, whatever it might be. I also want to get more confident in my own power to understand the stock market, to understand how things work. So you're not going to have to get it all in one big, you're not going to take a college course and get everything thrown at you, but take advantage of the fact that Michelle and advisors like this are so generous with their knowledge, and you're going to learn. You're not even going to recognize your own conversations in 5 years, because you're going to be starting to ask questions that are way beyond what you thought you could feel comfortable. And that builds confidence.
It does.
In you as you go along. That's the educational component.
And one other thing to Tiffany, just let them know, we are your biggest cheerleader. We'll cheer for you more than you're cheering for yourself sometimes.
No, I love that. And I know, so somebody asked a question. Michelle said being as ready as possible. I'm going to show you just one more time again. So when you go to yourmoneymatch.com, and you scroll down, you scroll right here. So after step 1, 2, 3, Michelle said, be as ready as possible for that first meeting. That's why I said, I created the Your Financial Life worksheet, which it's literally the sheet I created for myself because I was having a hard time finding a financial advisor. And I said, I want to be as prepared as possible. So it asks all these questions of you about your financial life, so you can bring it with you either before you meet your financial advisor and you kind of want them to know you, or during that first meeting. So you don't have to worry about oh gosh, did I say a thing? Did I share a thing? And that's totally free. All of this is free. The survey is free. The Get Matching is free. The worksheet is free. The 10 questions are free. This is really just a tool and resource. I just want to make sure that I gave you, because I saw somebody ask that question. And we're going to take questions in a minute. I just have one last. Isha, she said she printed out already. Look at you. Isha is ready. Okay. So we're going to take some questions, but I'm going to do one last question. So final question. So Pam, whether you've been working with a financial advisor for a long time or considering for the first time, if you could do one thing that's the most important thing to keep in mind, what would you say, Pam?
Don't settle.
Okay.
Take your time. I'm going to give you 2. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's good.
And again, I can't stress it enough. There's a nervousness around the whole process. There's an insecurity around it. All of that. Just try as best you can to just relax and know that you're going to have this first conversation. And the purpose of it is so you can take your time and really explain what you think you need and why you think you need an advisor. And that conversation will then evolve into, here's how I can help you.
Love that. So for you, Michelle, one thing, if you could take away, and then we're going to take some questions because you guys have some great questions.
I would say one thing is communication.
Okay.
Communicate to your advisor. Why I say that? Life change, things change. You remember I said earlier that I wanted to be an attorney, and I changed after I found my purpose. And so if you started out working with an advisor and you said you wanted to do one thing and you've changed that and did not share that with the advisor, communicate that with the advisor, then that recommendation for what they've given you may not work for the new goals that you have. So always communicate with your advisor.
I love that. So start asking your questions. I want to tell you guys a really quick story, a fun thing that me and Pam found out. So I was telling Pam that like before Wealthramp, I had to be the Wealthramp. I only knew like 3 financial advisors. So people would come to me and be like, people would come to me and be like, hey, Tiffany, can you recommend a financial advisor? And I'm like, these are the 3 I know,
And they're
yeah, there are good ones. So that wasn't the issue. It's just that like, I just felt like, oh, I wish I had a tool because this can't possibly be all of them, but I don't have the qualifications to vet like, 200 financial advisors nor the time. And so what happened, which was a cute kind of fun story, is I have a neighbor who lives around the corner, an older woman she's 75 years young or in that age range. And her grandson and I are friends. And she sold her house a few years ago to some developers. They were developing the cul-de-sac where she lived, and she was the last holdout. They had bought all the other houses and they wanted to build whatever. And she was like, no. She bought the house from her grandmother for $1. And she was like, I'm not moving. So finally they're like, please. So she held out, was able to sell her house for 7 figures. And so all of a sudden, this beautiful 75-year-old young woman was flushed with money. And so her grandson reached out to me and said, we don't know what to do, And I said, well, here are the 3 financial advisors that I think are pretty awesome. This one in particular, her name was Amy Irving. And I connected Amy to them, and it's been working out wonderfully. And I was sharing with Pam how much I love Amy. And Pam was like, not Amy Irving.
Yeah, you didn't even say her last name. You just said Amy, and there's thousands of advisors in the United States. And I just happened to say, Amy Irvin? Are you talking about that name? She goes, yeah, do you know her? I go, she's on my platform.
She is literally a Wealthramp advisor. So I was already wealth ramping before I even knew. So I know we know that Michelle is awesome, but I'm also using that to illustrate that there are other awesome advisors because Amy is incredible. And I've been recommending her for like the last 5 years. And so there are other awesome advisors. Okay. So let's get to some of these questions. We're going to try to knock these out rapid fire. Okay. Teresa says, is the relationship with a financial advisor a lifetime thing? So you guys can kind of go back and forth. I'll say this one for Michelle. Is it a lifelong thing?
It can be if that's what you want. And it can be whatever you want, because we have people who come to our firm who they have concerns right now and they just want an advisor in this moment to help them answer this burning question. And some, after they've gotten their questions answered, they said, you know what, I like this relationship. Can I maintain this relationship for a lifetime? Yes, you can. So you hold the power in your hand to what do you want? Do you want something now? Or do you want something for the rest of your life?
Okay. So this question, Pam, so you've interviewed so many financial advisors. Will the financial advisors also help business owners with tax laws and best practices to help businesses save money? Are there financial advisors that can help with that too?
It's a great question. So I want you to think of financial advisors like Michelle, who kind of specialize in different audiences. So yes, there are I would say that probably 95% of the advisors that are in my network, work with business owners, someone going through a business sale, they might be going through a liquidity event, they might have stock options, really complex tax issues, very, very high level, very sophisticated. The answer is yes. And not every single advisor is going to work with that kind of client. So that's why it's so important to do the matching.
Yes, to go to literally yourmoneymatch.com, because remember I said earlier, my financial advisor, I chose her because she specializes in people with businesses. And
Right.
so like Amy, who I think is awesome, doesn't.
That's
And
right.
so although I thought Amy was great, she wasn't a match for me because I know because I interviewed
with you necessarily. That's right.
I literally interviewed Amy for myself and I was like, oh my God, I love her. And she was like, honestly, Tiffany, you need someone who this is their specialty. So that's great. So, okay. So Aisha asked, so I think this will be great for Michelle. The difference between an advisor, financial advisor, and that certified financial planner again. So what is that difference again? She'd like some more clarity.
So you have advisors. Some advisors do what is called a Series 65 exam, and that's just the basic information that shares with you some of the laws surrounding financial advising and some of that information. And then they decided that, okay, they're going to be a financial advisor, right? Doesn't mean that it doesn't have the expertise that a certified financial planner has, but a certified financial planner, we are what is called the gold standard. We go through this rigorous testing to ensure that we have competency. We have to do at least 30 CEs, and we have to do 2 ethical training, and we're held to certain standard. And so we have this governing body that we have to answer to, and we're held to this fiduciary standard, if you must say. And we do comprehensive financial planning. And so we do a lot more than just a regular advisor. So that's why we're the gold standard.
So think about, I guess you think about financial advisor. If I'm trying to think about it, like maybe like a like not want to say entry level, but say like having your bachelor's degree, right? And then a financial planner, additional work, additional expertise, you get your doctorate. Almost like, so it's like, okay, both of them have to take a certain level of education in order to get to that, to become a financial advisor. But that next level for your doctorate means you dove just a little bit deeper, and you are really well versed in a myriad of things. So not just investing, but insurance. My financial advisor, when I first started working with her, I thought we were going to get to making money. And she was like, no, we need to clean up your insurance. We need to clean up your beneficiaries. She helped with, I just finished my trust. She helped, make sure my estate plan was done. And so that's the difference. It's just like levels and certified financial planners. And that's who they get matched with, right, Pam, on Wealthramp?
Every advisor on Wealthramp is either a CFP or they've been a CPA advisor for years. Okay. In that case, the body of work that a CFA or a CFP, I know these letters don't make any sense, but they all have to have more than just a simple credential. Even if it's a CFP, they have to have years of experience. That's my vetting. It's all about figuring out, well, how long have you been doing this? Well, how long have you been working with these kinds of clients? Well, how much do you really, so they can come to me even with the CFP credential. That's like a baseline. And then from there, I have to be able to see that you can demonstrate how you're helping your clients.
I love that. Okay, so this is questions for you, Pam. This is a great one. B. Snowden said, Pam, matching sounds challenging. Are there instances where the matches don't work out, and why?
Oh, yeah, every day. That's why I want you to have 3. Sometimes it's personality. Although I will say that the vetting that I do really roots out. I'm not going to have anybody on this platform that has an attitude, the mansplaining kind of thing. Nothing against men. I'm just saying it's not happening here. We can't have that. But yeah, there are plenty of times when somebody will say, it's just not the right fit for me. And that's why I want them to have 3. But our retention rate, get this, 98%. Over the course of every single year. So these people who are getting matched to these advisors, we take our time and be very thoughtful going into it so that we won't have a situation where you feel like you have to switch. 98% retention rate.
That's incredible. So we're gonna go because the money question is a really good one. L Solo Production says, sorry, they didn't really explain the other options outside of fee based. So remember, not fee based. Well, I'm gonna let y'all explain it. So Michelle, can we break down? So it looks like there's fee only and fee based. Are those the two? if because I know there's so many different ones, but if we're going to talk about the two main ones, it's fee based and fee only. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, let's talk about those two for a second.
Okay. Okay.
So those two for a second is the one that everybody tends to know.
Okay.
And so, so fee only, which I am, is like Pam like to say, is that you're only paying me. All right, that's you're paying the firm, right, and you're paying us, the advisor. When you have fee base, it means that there's some commission involved. Mean that some products are sold and they're getting trailings or they're getting commissions from that, along with the fact that you also have to pay them for their service. And so with fee only, you're only paying us for our service. There's no trailing, there's no commission. And so you pay us for our service.
Okay. So just so I'm going to just reiterate. So you guys hear fee only. I love how Pam said it, right? And as well as Michelle, they're only being paid by you. Fee based means not only are they're also going to be paid by you, but there's probably some sort of other back end commission or other thing. So it's not only you. So those are the two core ones. Fee based, that means everybody paying. And then fee only is only you. And so what else?
That's it. And the reason that that's so important is because if it is a commission-based relationship and you don't know it, here's the problem. It's not transparent. I want you to think of it this way. I'm getting a knife in the front. I know I'm paying you a fee, Michelle. I know I have to pay it. I'm also getting a knife in the back that I don't even know about if I've got the fee-based or the commission relationship, because they are getting paid to sell you something. And guess who pays the commission? It's not the brokerage firm, you, but you don't see it coming. So that's like a knife in the back. Forget it. You don't need to work to do it. It's better just to know, how much am I paying Michelle? Can I live with that or any other advisor? I want everything transparent.
So
and
hopefully
sometimes too, Tiffany, pardon me, sometimes too, Tiffany, many times client come and they don't even know what they're paying. And when you calculate and show them what they're paying, just like how Pam says, it's a knife in the back, because they don't know what they're paying. When you calculate it and show them what they're paying, they're sometimes alarmed by it. And sometimes you calculate that and show them against the fee that you're paying a fee only advisor, they're even paying more to that relationship than they would pay to a fee only advisor.
So fee based, fee only paid by me. Fee based, they're paid by you and other people. So those are the two core things. And so real quick so because we're going to ask some more questions, we got like 5 more minutes. Real quick, if you have already went to yourmoneymatch.com, I want you to write match in the comments. I'd love to see like who has already, because I know y'all like to be fast, who has already gone to yourmoneymatch.com and started to look at their matches. Just let me know in the comments.
I've got to go myself.
Okay, so Phyllis asks, so let's say, so we've said this word again and again. So Pam, if you can answer just quickly, what does fiduciary mean? Because we say it over and over, but what really does that mean? A fiduciary advisor, what does that word mean?
Fiduciary is not a frame of mind. It's not a mood you're in. You don't wake up in the morning and go, I feel so fiduciary today. It's a legal standard to which an advisor is either held or not held. So guess what? Brokerage firms, advisors, insurance companies, advisors, commission, they are not held legally to the fiduciary standard, which really means they are not legally bound to act in your best interest. I can sell you something, Tiffany, if I feel like I can make the case that it makes sense for you and I'm going to get paid a commission. I'm not held to the higher standard that says I can't recommend something to you or give you advice unless it's in your best interest. Would you rather have an advisor who's a fiduciary or one that just goes, I think I can sell you something? So
just for clarity, Pam, are all your advisors, they're all fiduciaries?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So remember, a fiduciary means that they are legally bound to put your interest first. And so this is why, you go to yourmoneymatch.com, and you do the Wealthramp survey. This is now can you see why I partnered with Wealthramp? Because it's very hard. If I'm being honest, it's hard out here vetting for partners that really align with how I want to show up for you.
Oh my God, it's hard for me, let alone, that's why I just love what you're doing. I love what you're both doing. It's, we're together for a reason.
And so real quick, Jalissa says, would an advisor help with estate planning? I'll answer this. Yes. A certified financial planner will. Because remember what Michelle said earlier, they holistically help. I just 2 days ago, I met with my certified financial planner, CFP, and we just were wrapping up my estate plan. So I can tell you literally as someone who just went through it, yes. Meredith asked, so this question for you, Michelle, very quickly, since we got to jump off in a minute. Could a couple hire a CFP or is only individual? Is it per person? How does that go?
They can, but guess what? If you're married, then you both want to come to the table, because why? If we're planning for the family, it's best that we know what's happening for both parties in the relationship, so we could do a comprehensive plan for the entire family. And so if we're just looking at one person's information and not the other person, but at home both of you are working together, the recommendation is not going to work for both of you. Both of you need to come to the table. And I'll just share this quickly. I had a prospect that called on Friday, and I was talking to the husband only. And in the conversation, I learned that he has a wife. And I said to him, I would love for your wife to come to the table for us to have this discussion. And he scheduled a meeting on Monday. We met. And at that point, I let the wife spoke, because why? She wasn't in the first meeting, and I wanted to hear her concern and how can I address it. And I did that. At the end of the call, she said, they both said, we're interviewing other advisor, and I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. And I left the call by saying to them, based upon what you're looking for, even if you don't decide to work with me, here's what you need to be able to get from the advisor that you want to work with. Later that afternoon, I got an email from them saying, I'd love to work with you, because you were transparent and you explained things to me. So we like to have both parties involved in the process.
So this is awesome, ladies. I mean, I don't know about you, but this was great. If I like to give flowers while they're here. Can we give a thank you so much for Michelle and Pam for coming on here to just share all this free information? I love to do this. I don't know all the things. I'm the budgetnista, not the financial advisor-nista. So I love to bring folks on who know way more than me. That is my gift, is that I know this, but I know this many people. So I love to bring people on. And then I love to find tools and resources that'll be great. This is one of the few resources I had a hard time finding, because I just was like, this is not a fit. I don't like that. They're not CFPs. They're not fiduciaries. So I'm not going to share anything unless I know that it passes my Lisa rule. And I would share this with my baby sister, Lisa. And y'all are my Lisa. So I am so proud to share your money match with you. I love this partnership with Wealthramp. So little bit of homework before we jump off. When you jump off, before you feed the baby, before eat dinner or whatever time you're watching this, I want you to go to yourmoneymatch.com, okay? And then you're going to take the 2-minute survey, and you're going to see your matches. Just start there. If you don't do anything else, just start there. Even if you don't have to contact them tonight, just start there, because you're going to get an email from. Go ahead, Pam. I'm sorry.
I got to say one thing before we run out of time. I am the only website that doesn't share your contact information with anybody. I don't share it with the advisors. You can see the advisors. It's a one-way mirror, but they can't see you.
I love that, because we should have said in the beginning. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I also partner with them. They will not share your information with anyone, not even the advisors. If you don't reach out to the advisors will never know that you saw them. So that was really important to me too. Okay. And so, yes, you're going to go to yourmoneymatch.com. You're going to do the survey, and you're just going to breathe easy. And then tomorrow, you can start to reach out to the advisors. Don't worry, because you think this is not over. Because I know some of y'all are going to get your matches and then be like, girl, bye. No, I'm going to be in that inbox. Like, did you set up your meeting? Did you set up your meeting? That's what I do with my sisters. Did you do it? Did you do it? So don't worry. I'm going to let you get off with this little bit of homework tonight. All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much, Pam. You know what? Really quickly, y'all, if y'all want to I'm about to put us up. So look, we're going to give you the cute face, because I would love if you guys could take a screenshot, post it on social, and then tag at the Budgetnista. And I'm going to tag Pam and Michelle up there on Instagram. Okay. So I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. And another one. Take that screenshot and share. Yeah, so thank you so much. I hope you guys had an awesome time. I know that I did. And thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tiffany. Bye, Michelle.
Bye, guys.